My name is Alexander, and this is a presentation about Exchange. Exchange conversion for 2D and 3D CAD models. Exchange is an ODA ongoing project to exchange models and data between ODA products. Visualize SDK will be a common part of Exchange functionality. The main goal of Exchange is easy exchange of geometry data. The following scheme show you how exchanging of data between 4 different formats are working. If we need to convert format A to B, C, and D, we should implement 3 conversion modules. For 4 formats, we should implement more modules. This scheme looks hard, and this scheme becomes terrible in case if we need to implement exchanging of data between 10 formats or 100 formats. So we decide to use the following scheme for this. We will use some intermediate database, DWG-like database. And in this scheme, on the left side, we have all ODA supported products, formats, RFA, Revit, DGN, DWG, STL, and so on. And we will convert all such formats into intermediate database, DWG-like database. And after it, we are going to export information from this intermediate database into DWG format. The good bonus of this scheme is that Visualize SDK is already have inside this part of the functionality. So by using visualization, we are able to convert all ODA supported formats into some intermediate database via visualization. And the only step which should be implemented is conversion of this visualized representation into DWG format. Looks very simple. All ODA members who are working with 3D models in ODA are familiar with BREP interfaces. Most familiar interface is most famous interface is BREP interface. The main class of this interface is OD-BR BREP. Also, this interface contains some topology-related classes like edges, vertices, faces, loops, and so on. And by using topology classes, you are able to get information about BREP topology elements like underlying surfaces, underlying curvaces, points, 3D points, parametric curvaces, and so on. Also, a set of iterators are available, and by using of iterators, you are able to step our BREP topology. For example, you are able to step over all edges in this BREP representation. BREP interface, we are using BREP interface inside ODA. This is global common BREP interface, and we are using this interface inside BIM, DGN, OPS, Drawing, and PRC products. For example, to visualize 3D models. This is common interface. The second BREP-related interface is BREP Builder interface. And also, this is common interface. And we are using this interface to create 3D models in PRC format, DVG format, Revit format, and DGN. So we have 2 common interfaces, BREP interface and BREP Builder interface. So we decide to implement a single model, filler model, and the goal of this model is collecting of all necessary geometry data by using of common BREP interface and put this collected information to the input of BREP Builder interface. This model is available inside ODA release packages. The source code of this model is open, and this is the best example how to use a BRIE builder interface at member side. Comments about dgen import and using of BREP interfaces. As you know, dgen, there are few BREP-based elements in dgen, Smart Solid and Feature Solid. And internally, such entities contains ACES or Parasolid data streams. So if we have a 3D model based on Parasolid stream, we can ask BREP interface of this entity. After it, we can use filler pair of filler and BREP builder, and create ACES-based 3D model in, for example, in DWG format. This way is dgen import works. So in fact, this is Parasolid to ACES conversion for ODA needs. How BREP interfaces are working in Publish. In fact, Publish is exchanging of 3D data between RFA, dgen, and DWG formats into PRC format. So internally in Publish, we are using filler model and BREP builder interface. The previous two slides about dgen import and Publish contains information about filler and BREP builder pair. But what about direct using of BREP builder interface? Yes, it is also possible, and in December we will release Revolve and Extrude modeling operations for drawing SDK, and implementation of Revolve and Extrude operations is working via direct access to BREP builder interface. One another way how to use BREP builder directly is the member code. Some members requested this functionality for import-export needs. For example, if a member has his own format, he is able to use BREP builder interface to convert member site 3D models into ODA supported 3D models. So, in fact, we are going to provide for our members ability to create product-specific 3D models. To prevent creation of incorrect models with some errors internally and so on, we have added two additional steps. The first step is validator, and the second step is audit. The main goal of validator is working with BREP builder input data, and validator should check is with the input data correct or not. In case if the data is incorrect, BREP builder will not create 3D model. And in case if 3D model was created by some reasons, you are also able to start product specific functionality audit. Audit will report about possible errors in this 3D model, but already such errors will be product specific. We are able to convert Parasolid, ACES, and BIM BREP-based 3D models into PRC format in Publish functionality. Also, we are able to convert Parasolid data streams into ACES 3D models inside dgen import. And we are able to create extruded and revolved surfaces inside drawing SDK. In fact, this is ACES data stream. BIM product is working with BREP builder interface for update BREP-based topology elements. It was information about how ODA is working with BREP builder interfaces, but what about member side? How a member able to use BREP builder and BREP interface in member side products? So if we have 3D model in one of if we have 3D model in one of supported ODA format, we can ask for BREP interface of this model. Next, we are able to use BREP renderer for tessellation to get tessellation from this BREP-based 3D model, and this tessellation can be used for visualization needs or to be exported to some other file format. Also, we are able to use filler and BREP builder pair to create 3D model in some other format. So what about member side? In December, we are going to provide ability for our members to implement own implementation of ODBR BREP interface. It means for the member side, it means that now from this moment members will be able to use ODA BREP renderer to render own 3D models, to get tessellation, to visualize needs, or to export in to our format as mesh. The second way is using filler and BREP builder pair to convert member side 3D model to 3D model of one of supported by ODA format. Our way how to use BREP builder at member side is working directly with BREP builder interface to convert own 3D data, not BREP-based 3D data. So in this way, member able to convert his own 3D data to ODA site supported formats by using BREP builder directly. And one more possible way how to use BREP interfaces at member site is implementation of own implementation of BREP builder interface. In this case, it is possible to exchange 3D model from one of ODA supported formats to member site 3D model format. So let's back to the exchange. As I said before, at this moment, Exchange is working via Visualize SDK. At this moment, 3D model will be tessellated, and Visualize SDK will collect shell data, put it to the DWG-like database, and from this database, this data will be exported as mesh. For DWG format, ODDB polygon mesh or subd mesh entity. This is present situation. In near future, we are going to provide ability for Visualize SDK to work with BREP directly. In this case, 3D model can be stored into DWG-like database as BREP representation. And in this situation, we will be able to export 3D model not as tessellation or as mesh, but as BREP model. And some notice about future. As I said, we are going to provide new API, Exchange API. This API should work with model exchange not only for geometry and models exchange, but also we are going to support exchanging of properties of items. For example, it is critical for BIM product because BIM contains not only models but also different properties. And of course, we are going to support more formats, not only DWG format and format from and format to. So let's start some demo. First of all, this is demo about exchanging of data between BIM format and DWG format. So this is Visualize Viewer application. We will load some BIM file. This is model of a BIM format. And let's export it as DWG format. So let's save it as DWG format and open ODA debug application. As you can see, results of exporting. The next demo is about direct import of Parasolid files. New empty drawing, and let's start Parasolid in command. Let's find some Parasolid file. You can see very simple 3D model. So we have special debug command which will highlight all BREP-based entities in this drawing. Color of this model was changed, so it is BREP-based entity. Let's check model space of this drawing. In the model space, you can see ODDB body entity. On the right side, you can see part of the ACES data stream. It means that we converted XT file, Parasolid data file, into ACES data. The next demo about more complex model. We will load not Parasolid file, but DGen file with BREP-based entities inside. More complex model. We just import data from DGen file into DWG database. And we can start the same debug command to highlight the BREP-based entities in this file. As you can see, significant part of the model was highlighted. Let's open model space. Here you can see some meshes. This is results of importing of not converted paths and set of surfaces and regions. This is BREP-based, ACES BREP-based objects. And the last demo is creation of simple entities. Start new file with empty database and start create BREPs commands. This command is available as example inside ODA release packages, and this is direct using of BREP builder interface to create simple 3D surfaces. You can see here conuses, cylinders, torus, spheres, boxes, and so on. So that's all from my side.